Hi, I'm Shona. I'm the Education and Outreach Manager at Geoscience Australia. Geoscience Australia brings together experts in Australia's geology and geography. In this series, we're going to explore some of Australia's landscapes and landforms. We're going to learn about some of their features and the processes that shape them. We're also going to think about how landscapes and landforms are valued and the ways humans impact and protect them. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at Mount Kosciuszko. Mount Kosciuszko is located in the Snowy Mountains, which form part of the Australian Alps. It has an elevation of 2,228 metres and is the highest mainland peak in Australia. After the initial formation of the ranges that ran down the east coast of Australia, the landscapes of the Great Dividing Range continued to be shaped by uplift, folding, faulting and erosion. Glaciers are large masses of ice that move slowly over the land. Within the last 100,000 years, the landscapes around Mount Kosciuszko were shaped by glaciers. This area used to be permanently covered by ice. As glaciers moved along, they eroded the land around them, scraping off rock and dirt and carrying it away. This erosion can create landforms, such as the cirque lakes found in Kosciuszko National Park. Cirque lakes are bowl-shaped lakes that are created when glaciers scrape out semicircular basins into rock as they push down the slope. These depressions then fill with water to become lakes. Lake Kutupatamba is a cirque lake found just below Mount Kosciuszko's peak, and it's the highest lake on mainland Australia. Blue Lake, the largest cirque lake in mainland Australia, is also found on the main range in Kosciuszko National Park. The area around Mount Kosciuszko is Ngarigo Country. This area continues to be culturally and spiritually important for the Ngarigo, whose associations with this area go back thousands of years. Physical places such as occupation sites, stone scatters, culturally marked trees, stone arrangements and significant cultural landscapes remain important. More recent historical sites such as built fences and stockyards also remain significant. Historically, the mountains of the Australian Alps were also an important summer gathering place for Aboriginal people who travelled from far away to meet for ceremony, trade, marriages, and to settle disputes. During these gatherings, people would feast on the bogong moths that had migrated for the summer. The moths would be smoked out of their rocky hiding places and cooked in ash or ground up into a paste to eat. For many Aboriginal people, the landscapes of the Australian Alps continue to have significant cultural value. The Australian Alps contain 11 national parks and reserves, including Kosciuszko National Park. The Australian Alps National Parks and Reserves are also included on Australia's National Heritage List. The wetlands around Blue Lake and another cirque lake nearby called Hedley Tarn were listed under the Ramsar Convention in 1996 as wetlands of international importance. The Australian Alps, which include the New South Wales and Victorian snowfields, are also highly valued as a tourist destination, with over 3 million people visiting in 2018. Now for an experiment about weathering. Now remember, weathering is when things like extreme temperatures, salt, ice, even plants and animals break down rocks. Let's find out what happens when water freezes.
We filled the syringe up with blue-coloured water to the 10 ml mark.
We will also add this bowl of blue tack to the tip of the syringe to stop the water from coming out.
Next, we're going to put the syringe in the freezer overnight.
What do you think's going to happen?
This is one we put in the freezer yesterday.
Check out what's happened.
As the water has frozen, it's expanded, pushing out the syringe handle.
Look, now the reading is 11 mils. Remember, we started with only 10.
So, water expands when it freezes.
But wait, how does this relate to weathering again?
Well, freezing and thawing is one of the processes of weathering. It happens in places where you get temperatures going up and down below and above zero. and any water that's in little cracks and holes and crevices in the rock is repeatedly frozen and thawed and frozen and thawed, and eventually that expansion and contraction causes the rock to weaken and crumble and be weathered. This often happens in mountain areas. Okay, so how about one fast fact before we wind things up? Did you know that the highest point on Australian territory is actually in the Australian Antarctic territory? Mount McClintock has an elevation of 3,490 metres. Another mountain on Australian territory that is taller than Mount Kosciuszko is Mawson's Peak on Heard Island, which is 2,745 metres high and forms the summit of an active volcano called Big Ben.